Hey guys, this is Mike, the beginner instructor for the James 16 group. And this video is going to be the very basics of what is a pin bar. And this is going to be the first video of a series of price bar videos, and they're going to start basic and we'll work our way forward. So let's just go over the extreme basics of what a pin bar is. And a pin bar, also known as a Pinocchio bar, which was coined by Martin Pring, is a bar that is essentially lying to us which way it's going. And I'll explain to you what that means in a second. So I wrote out basically 4 criteria for what makes something a pin bar. The first criteria I have is the open and close are in the lower or the upper portion of the bar. So let's look at this for an example. All of these arrows here I have are pointing to types of pin bar, examples of pin bars, excuse me. So let's just focus on this one right now. The first rule says the open and close must be in the lower portion of the bar. So in this case it has to be in the lower portion. If we were looking at this bar, it would have to be in the upper portion. So if we look at just this bar for now, we see that the open and close are both at the very bottom, near the bottom of the bar. Now, it's not an exact number of where it should be, but generally it should be in the lower third to the lower quarter, or in this case, the upper third to the upper quarter of the bar. So that's criteria 1. The next criteria is that the open and close must be within the left bar. So again, looking at this bar, if we look at the open and close here, we see that it's contained within the left bar. So now we have 2 rules so far, that the open and close must be in the lower portion and it must be within the left bar. So right now this meets both of the criteria. The third criteria is a long protruding nose. And this is why these are called Pinocchio bars. If you notice, this has a very long nose sticking out, and essentially the idea behind it is that's lying to which way price is going. So this very long nose is the opposite of where price is really going, which is this is indicating that price is going down. So we have 3 criteria that this is met so far. The open and close are in the lower portion of the bar, the open and close are within the left bar, and we have a very long protruding nose. The last thing I just wanted to say quickly about pin bars before I just go through the other examples is that these bars are best played at swing highs and swing lows. So if you haven't looked at my video on how to identify swing high and swing lows, that's where you can begin to place this information together. And in future videos I will start to go through that again, but for now I just wanted to sum that up. And they're also best played at support and resistance. So these are the 4 basic criteria for your pin bars. And just quickly to go over the other 3 here, if we're looking at this pin bar, again we see that the open and close are at the top portion of the bar. We have a protruding nose, which is opposite the direction we're looking to go. So in this case we're looking to go long or buy. And we could also see that the open and close are contained or within the left bar. And same thing, this one is very similar to this one. Again, the open and close are in the bottom portion of the bar, and because of this we get a nice long nose protruding outwards from price, and also the open and close is within this bar to the left. And finally, this pin bar over here, same thing as this one. We have a protruding nose away from where price is going, so again this one we would be looking for price to rise. The open and close are exactly the same, and that's okay as long as they're in the lower portion of the bar. And once again, as rule 2 is that it's within the left bar. So that's the very basics of what a pin bar is. And as we progress in these videos, we'll go into more detail of what is a good pin bar versus an okay versus a bad one, how to identify them at swing highs and swing lows. So this is just the very basics of what a pin bar is. And as you get deeper into this material, there are different things about how you play these pin bars, what are considered a great pin bar versus a good pin bar versus a bad pin bar. So as these videos get more in depth, we'll get into those different topics. As always, if you guys have any questions, please send me a private message or an email. I'm always around.